as soon as you click go live, it's already recording. This is already on YouTube. You think you got to have a couple more minutes because it says setting up your meeting for YouTube, but really it's already on YouTube. We'll let these folks know. As soon as there we go. We got 3 more people already get in. You ready? You ready to let them in?
Absolutely.
Michelle, Lydia, Veronica. Hi, Michelle. You must have a lot of Zoom experience. You're like hopping right on.
I'm ready to go. I'm on time.
Are you a teacher?
I am very good with the Zoom.
I was about to say, most of the folks we meet are teachers. What do you teach?
I actually teach the autism resource program at our elementary school, so K-5.
I was talking about that with somebody just the other day. One of my really good friends does a lot of stuff with autism. Another friend of mine does like music therapy for autism. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, there's so many great therapies out there. Like, I think anything really that helps them to make a connection, music, whatever else, like the camps, like anything, like that's what we do. We do a lot of trying to make connections.
What was it that spoke to your heart to call you into that line of work? Because you don't really have the immediate feedback some teachers do if they have at least a good student.
Well, actually, my program, because I teach the level 4 program in Gwinnett County, which means nothing in the real world, but they're very high functioning. Some of them would call them Asperger's, but that's not a definition anymore. So sometimes the problem actually is they're so smart that they are way smarter than their grade. And so now they're bored and they don't have impulse control.
Sounds like a teenager.
Yes, they're just preparing. I keep saying, I'm like, when you're around 25-year-olds, you're going to be awesome. Second graders, not so great.
Well, I've heard that Asperger's is called high functioning autism now, right?
Yeah, and so that's what I teach is high functioning autism. That Asperger's just doesn't work as a term anymore. So
you get to tell them one day you could be like Elon Musk.
Some of my kids literally have the capability of it. Like, they're so brilliant in their focus area that really it's just going to be a matter of what they decide to focus on. I'm like, if you decide to go into medicine, there is nothing that's going to get in your way.
Wow.
Or to invent something. Someone always constantly, when they're like, why isn't this? I'm like, invent it. I'm like, I'll patent
it. Well, thank you for providing the love and support and encouragement that some of the most brilliant members and misunderstood members of our society need in order to bring their gifts into the world.
I love it. It's the best job.
It's so cool. Did you teach them on Zoom over this pandemic time, or?
I did. That was not fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how's that even work?
That was not fun. Most of them ended up back by Georgia, opened up pretty quickly. Yeah. And so most of them were back by September, even the ones that said they were going to do it. They just need a lot of focus and a lot of help. And I have 3 paraprofessionals that we go in and help them through managing themselves. And so not doing it, their parents have no idea how hard it is for them. And so They think this is easy. And I'm like, it's not easy. You can't just step in to be their para. Like, it takes some training. But they did great. They tried really hard. And now they're back.
Well, I'm personally very grateful for teachers. And I wouldn't be surprised if I have I'm a touch on the spectrum myself. So
the longer I teach them, the more I'm more convinced that it is not a spec. I'm becoming very rigid. I'm like, why are you in here? You're early. What's, and I've never been like that in my life. But now I'm like, you're supposed to be here at 9:05. It is 9 o'clock. So I might need you to step in the hallway.
Sometimes we do that for these sessions. People show up early. Sometimes they show up late. But it's 8 o'clock now. And I promised all of y'all when you signed up that we would start on time because I asked you to be on time. So thank you for being on time. Michelle, thank you for passing those few minutes and being a teacher. For everybody else, welcome. My name is Lester, and I think all of y'all are here to raise some funds for things you care about. We're really excited to do that. That'll be the easiest part of tonight. Just quick introductions is what we do first. That's me with the pink shirt on, looking too serious. Walking away from the dinosaurs. Can all you guys see the dinosaurs and movie looking things? Because there's going to be some visual stuff to show you tonight. Make sure we're on the same page. This is my partner, John. We've been working together for 15 years, and we worked with college students for a long time. Then we heard about solar energy and we thought that's really cool and more people ought to know about it. How can we spread the word? And we just thought, you know what? There's a lot of really good people in the world that want to do good things for their communities. So what if we just give the money that most companies spend on marketing to good causes, have a fun conversation with people, and if they want to go solar, help them do it as inexpensively and as easily as possible, but to make it fun and to do something beneficial for you, even if this is the last time we ever meet. So thanks for being here. These are our other teammates. Trey's gone tonight. Luke's driving. John is actually installing some solar for a friend. Holly's our super mom. Her husband is home from Kuwait, so she is having fun with him. And then Chris's picture should be up here, but he's the guy with the headphones on, who's a teammate, our youngest teammate. He just graduated with a biomedical engineering degree, and he helps create your designs for you. So thanks for coming. Just to show you what you can expect. Oh, Michelle's got a young one there. So this is what you can expect, because people are like, what is this thing? They're just going to give me money for showing up? Yeah. Like, as soon as you introduce yourself, that's what the fundraiser is. So as soon as you introduce yourself, the fundraiser is complete for you. Then we've got some basic solar concepts. We've given away $25,000 this spring to have 500 folks show up like y'all. And so we have a pretty good idea now of what people want to know about solar. So we make that pretty quickly. It could last less the time than that. And then there's plenty of time for Q&As, and that's completely up to you. Or if you like what you learn, we'll zoom again and zoom in on your personal property and your personal electricity usage, and we can help you do that. We've helped folks go solar in 15 states. We usually save people thousands of dollars because we don't have sales commissions and things backed in, and we sell our equipment at wholesale. But that's enough about me. I'll be rambling forever. Love to hear from some of y'all to make this open and friendly and fun. And so introductions, it can last more than 27 seconds. That's just a guesstimate, but we will be done at the bottom of the hour. And I just wonder, we have a volunteer who'd like to go first in introducing yourself like this. Your introductions are your name, where you are, which organization you came to support, and then this funny question. If one of your neighbors won the lottery and said, Michelle, there's two Michelles, or Andrea or Sarah, like, we want to buy some solar panels for you, what kind of questions would you want to know before they put them on your roof? So just like any basic question you have, so I make sure that I don't waste our time going over things I think you want to know and can cover the things that you might actually want to know. So thanks for showing up. Who wants to go first? Any volunteers?
And
All right, Sarah, go for it.
hey,
Hi.
my name is Sarah Lee. I'm with Parkview High School Bands.
Yay.
So we moved here from South Carolina, and we actually had a solar lease on our house through Sunrun. But I don't think, are there solar leases in Georgia?
Well, there are not. And even if they were available, even you probably wouldn't want one once you learn everything. But it's pretty cool. Like, now you can own it and still have the same flexibility as a lease where you have a low monthly payment. So what we give people are ownership options that are as easy to pay for as leases. But Georgia, like, y'all have Walton, I believe, is your utility provider.
And Georgia Power, which is
Georgia
like
Power. Yeah, Georgia Power actually will let you have up to 10 kilowatts on your home, but they have some pretty funky ways they go about metering it. And that's part of what we do, is to help you understand all of that. So you can definitely use solar in Georgia. It's definitely not as easy as it is in South Carolina or Florida, but there are ways around that, and we can help you find them. So thank you for asking. So you would want to know, like, can I even put it up on my home? Like, if your friend was trying to buy it for you, you'd be like, wait a second, I don't even know if we can do it here.
Well, yeah, because we really liked the solar lease, and we actually sold the house, and it was okay. Like, the solar lease, you have a little bit, because the people who buy your house have to qualify, with the solar lease people, they put a lien and all that. But it was just really neat to have solar on the house and to be able to see it moving and the kilowatts, and then all the neighborhood gets it after you get it, because you're the trailblazer. So
we'd love to have some trailblazers on here. What Michelle or Sarah is talking about is you get an app if you go solar that shows you how much energy you're making, how much is going to your house, how much is going to the grid. at all points of the day. Now, your app might have looked a little bit different than this. They're all slightly different, but it's kind of neat. So there's an app for that. If you're wondering, how do I know if my solar panels are working? Sarah, can you verify that at all points of the day, you see exactly how much electricity is being produced?
Yeah, like ours, you can actually read the meter and see it turning in the back, just glancing at it. So yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for already going solar. Sunrun's a cool company, and some people do enjoy leases, but they're not available in Georgia. But that doesn't mean you can't own it in Georgia. So, and it'd be just as easy. Thank you for showing up, Sarah. Who would you like to hear from next?
Hi, I'm Lilian Alvarez,
Okay, Leah.
supporting our community academy. So my question is, do you want to install the solar panels in my home, but do I have to replace it at any point?
Solar panels, the first ones were, do you know when the first ones were made?
No idea.
1954.
Oh, were they
That's
replaced?
that's almost 70 years. And those,
They're gonna last more than me.
yeah, they still work. The first
That's
ones
awesome.
still work.
That's so
So,
great.
so unless you have a kid with a baseball bat that has no impulse control and wants to break all your solar panels, then you won't need to replace them. They'll work for the rest of your life. In fact, they're guaranteed after 25 years to still be producing 80 to 92% of the energy they did the day they came out of the box, depending on what kind of panel you want. They work great. That's a really good question. Thank you for asking.
Okay.
Do you
Thank you
see
so much.
do you see somebody else who's on here that you'd like to hear from, or do you want me to pick the next person?
I cannot see anybody.
Okay. Well, Michelle, you want to go?
Hi, my name is Michelle Kruger, and I'm supporting Parkview Bands. And my question would be about the trees. We have great Georgia trees. And so they're not like over our house, but they definitely block a lot of our house.
Well, the good news is, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but then my son would like to know if we got them, if he could help install. Just thought I'd share his question.
Well, actually, you can, because one of the things that we do is we show you exactly how much is in the budget for your installers. And if you want to choose your own, then you can. So, carve out a bit of the budget for him to put it up. It's a lot of fun. But you might want to have some professionals around too. We need all the installers we can get. But to answer your question about the light, one of the things that we do, if you want a personal analysis of your property, is that, do you see those green lines? Those are sun rays. And in June, when the sun, in July and August at noon, those trees do not affect the solar panels at all. But during January, when the light is very low, the trees block the light. And so we can do an exact shading analysis without anybody even having to come to your home. Your shading will definitely affect how much power you can make. And it may make a huge difference. It might make a little difference, but we know on basically hour by hour, every month of the year, how much light is hitting the parts of your roof. And you get to choose where you want them. The reason we have them here is because your southern face gets the most sun. But if you wanted them on the side instead, no problem. We can create any type of design that fits whatever you would like based on your situation. That's part of our service. It's all free. But does that make sense that we just use software to figure out where the sun is?
Yeah, it's really interesting because we've always assumed that we would just be a no-go.
My John, the little guy with the bow tie, he lives in a geodesic dome, and he had to build a carport to put his solar panels on. But he's super shaded, and it still works. But Michelle, that's a really good question, and we'd be glad to help you figure it out individually. So Chris, if you want to, you can go ahead and drop that link in there for later. And if you get bored or you don't want to hear anything, you're welcome to click a time to get back together and do it. So I see Noah and Andrea or Andrea or how Andrea, I'm looking forward to seeing how you say your name, raised your hand. So you can go next, and unless you were just playing around with the buttons and don't really want to. I just hit unmute.
Thank you. Hi. Actually, that's my kids' names. They used to use it for school. I'm Caitlin. This is Andre.
How you doing?
Hi, Andre. How do you spell Caitlin?
Caitlin.
We're supporting.
All right.
Our question to you was, we're about to renew our roof. Will someone actually come out and, take it off and put it back on?
Or how does that work?
How does that work?
Yeah, that's a great question. So if your roof is about to be done soon, good news. You can do it with your solar. You can finance it with your solar, and you get a 26% tax credit, not just on the solar, but on the roof too.
Oh,
So
wow.
so it's really rad. If you need to do it soon, go ahead and replace your roof, because your solar panels will protect your roof after that, make it last a lot longer. But if you're looking at replacing your roof 10 years down the road, then somebody would come out, put it on. It'd be maybe $1,000, $2,000, depending on your situation. And you would still save enough money from not paying the utility company to more than make up for that, most likely. But that's what we help you figure out exactly. It's just what would that be and what works for you? So they're pretty easy to snap on and off. Once everything's installed, it's kind of like a Lego set. The hard part's building up all the pieces, but the top piece is pretty easy to put on and off. So it would take less than a day to come take them off if you needed to get it put on. Does that answer your question, or was that
Yes.
too long?
Thank you.
Thank y'all for showing up. And who did you say that y'all came to support? Where are y'all?
Legacy 9U.
And we're in
That's some
Florida.
baseball action. Is that baseball or softball?
Baseball.
Always forget we got some softball teams on here too. Thank you for supporting kids learning about America's pastime. Grateful to have y'all on tonight. And there's already a thing in the chat box where you can click anytime you want to go over your personal design. So who's next? We see Patricia and Michelle and Dwayne. So whoever would like to go next, go ahead.
I'll go.
Okay.
Dwayne out of South Florida, here for Legacy 9U baseball.
So, Caitlin and Andre,
I knew him.
And my question would be, being in South Florida and hurricanes coming through, do you have any data on how often those solar panels have issues?
Yeah, that's a great question. We can find data, and be glad to share it with you. But anecdotally speaking, let me find this little story here. Out in Colorado, there was a massive hailstorm where there were 3,000 solar panels on a building, and there was one broken panel when the community across the road had their entire roofs destroyed. They're made to be outside for a long period of time. Living in Miami, the thing that matters the most, because you have to get a permit before you can install them. And so in Miami, what matters the most is how many attachment points they need to resist the wind. And you can't even get a permit unless they can resist. In Miami-Dade County, it's 155 mile per hour wind, but it's whatever your county requires. In most cases, your solar panels won't blow off unless your entire roof blows off. They are attached more regularly than your roof is attached to the rest of your house. And part of our process is we check your homeowner's insurance, because if the roof does blow off, we want to make sure that you're covered and you don't lose your investment. And usually you already have enough homeowners insurance as it is to take care of that. So yeah, it's possible to blow off. It's not more likely. It's engineered to design the wind, but we all know that sometimes hurricanes blow away entire houses. And when that happens, you're covered with your homeowner's insurance. But that's all part of the process to make sure it's done, legally and safely. But if I told you that they were hurricane resistant, Dwayne, I'd be lying, because nothing is hurricane resistant, especially as they get stronger and stronger, because more people aren't using solar energy. Maybe as a cause for it. So thank you. Thanks for asking. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Yeah, and I can go into it as much detail as you'd like, but that's a quick answer. Who else is on today? Thank y'all for hopping on. Patricia, we haven't heard from you yet. Nice classes. Miss Gallardo. So she's trying to find the mute button. Does anybody else just want to volunteer while we're waiting for Patricia?
Hello, I will. This is Michelle Hardy. I am in Lilburn, Georgia with Parkview Bands.
Yay.
And my question would be, It's my understanding that our HOA does not allow mounting solar panels on the roof. Can you put them anywhere else?
Okay, so 3 answers to that. Directly, the answer is yes. You can build a pergola. You can have an outdoor walkway. You can build some like really ridiculous structure in your backyard if you want to. You could put them in a carport. You can do it however you want to. That's the first answer. The second answer is what most HOAs have a problem with is what they look like. And people don't know that they're all black now, and they're kind of beautiful. Black is beautiful. And so this is what solar panels look like now. The third answer to your question is, Michelle, do you have any undeveloped lots in your subdivision still where you have your HOA?
No.
Well, then they are not legally allowed to stop you from going solar on your house. They can make you use not efficient roof planes sometimes. They can make you use certain color panels. They can make you get a neighbor's permission. And we do this. We work with HOAs all the time, and we provide the information they need to make it super easy for you. But legally speaking, according to the Supreme Court, they can't stop you if your subdivision is not still under development. Number 2, they're a lot prettier now. So once they find out, they don't really care. And number 3, you can build it however the heck you want to. You don't have to put it on your house. Was that good?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. This is fun. We usually don't do it this way. Usually we just ask questions and do introductions. All right, who else is left? Patricia's still waiting to hear from her. Clays, you just hopped in. So what we're doing is introductions, where you are, who you're from, and what organization you came to support.
Hello.
Hi, Clays.
Hey, sir. How you doing?
Doing well. I'm Lester. Nice to meet you. Thanks for hopping in.
Hey, Lester. I'm from Miami. I'm here because my kid school invite me. Archimedes school. Yes.
Archimedean, I believe it's a great school.
Archimedean school.
And we're just doing popcorn questions about solar. Do you have any quick questions you wanted to ask?
Right now, I just jump. I saw a picture that you put there. So this means that I can replace my roof with all of this. Instead of put a tile, I can put on my roof the solar panel.
Yes, there is. And we can help you find it. But what you might be thinking of as far as the Tesla roof, it doesn't really exist yet. They keep working on it. It's about 8% efficient, not very good for heat dissipation, but you might have missed the part where the normal solar panels are actually really pretty now. But you can get some tiles if you want to. They're really expensive. They don't work very well, but they are really beautiful. I'll say that. So good question. And then Patricia, did you ever figure out your microphone? It looks like you did.
Hi, hello. I'm sorry, I guess I was having trouble with the mute thing. Well, my name is Patricia. My son's school, they made the invitation for me. The school is Archimedean as well.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I was a little bit late, but I would like to know if there's like specific places where they allow this type of solar fence.
A solar fence?
Solar panels, I'm sorry.
So what would you like to know? I'm sorry, I misunderstood your question.
If there's like a specific like places or locations where we have where we are allowed to place the panels, the solar panels.
You are allowed to place them wherever you want them, unless there is an HOA restriction, which we can help you with. But if you're asking, is there a better place than other places to put my solar panels? The answer is yes. Have you ever noticed?
I'm sorry. Sometimes when we live like under communities, you know, that there are some restrictions that they usually have with according with some changes to the houses and everything. So that's why I'm asking, like, if we have like, we can like put them like whatever we want.
Yeah. Yes, and unless there is a homeowners association restriction, and we can help you work around those. So like, for instance, in Ohio, there's a community we work with where you're not like, unless you really fight them, you can't put them on the front of your house. but that might not matter at all, because what determines how much energy your panels produce is how much light they receive. And a solar panel that faces, sorry for scrolling so much, I'm probably making y'all dizzy right now. A solar panel that faces south will make as much electricity as almost 1.5 that's facing north. So we'll create a free design for you, y'all, if you want one. And you'll see that we use the south and the east and the west before we use the north. And that's the reason why, is to help you make the electricity you need with as few solar panels as possible, so it costs you less. But if you don't like them on the south side, you can put them on the east or west. You can put them on the north, but this is how you do it. And that's an individual thing that depends on your homeowners association, Patricia. But the short answer is, yeah, you can pretty much put them wherever you want them, and we can help you figure it out. Is that a sufficient answer, or did I not hear you right?
Perfect. Thank you for your answer. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And then I just saw Mr. Lucia chimed in. Hi, Lucia, supporting our comedian school. Only hear and see you, cannot speak. That's okay. I can ask to unmute and see if that works. If that's hard, we'll count your chat.
Hey, Lester.
Yes, sir.
I have a question. Sorry, maybe I missed all of this, but how do I know how much solar panels I need to in my house? I know that there are some people that normally use. I mean, you can supply the line of in our case FPL.
Mm-hmm.
To sell back all the energy that you don't use.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works, or
you have
if I want only, or if I only, in my case, because it depends on the price, I don't know if how many solar panels I need to supply only the energy for my home.
Yeah, Clay's, that is what we do. So first of all, like, I'm going to get to both those questions. But before I do, is there anybody else who wants to raise $50 for the cause you came to support by turning on your camera real quick and introducing yourself? Because that's all it takes to raise the money. Is there anybody we left out? Chris, do you see anybody else that's missing before I get to Clay's question?
I don't think so. I think we're good.
Cool. Well, guys, the introductions are complete. We've already covered most of the basic solar concepts. So now we'll just move into Q&A time. And there's already a chat. If you know that you would like to hear more about solar, then we will go over your individual situation with you to help you answer the question that Clay's just asked. Because everybody needs a different amount of solar panels. Do you have any idea what determines that? It's how
the electric
much,
bill?
Yeah, how much electricity you need to make. So good job, Sarah. So you know when you signed up, you wrote down how much your average electricity bill is?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We can use that information to figure out how many solar panels you need. So it's how much electricity do you need to make, combined with how much sunlight does your property receive? And then we have software that tells us that. And that's part of our service, is to calculate. Clay, can you see that on the screen where I'm looking at the sunlight at that house and showing the sun move through the air and how much light is hitting the house?
Yes.
That's how we determine it. Every solar panel will make a certain amount of electricity per hour of sunlight it receives. And that's something we can calculate using government numbers and software. So that's the first answer to your question, is it's personal, but sometimes you have enough space to make 100% of your energy. Sometimes this question, how's it work at night? Your solar panels make electricity. You use whatever your house needs, and then you share it back with FPL. So here's an example of a real bill where somebody bought $93 worth of electricity at night, but during the day, they made everything their house needed plus an extra $107. So at the end of the month, their utility company owed them $15.26. And so that's this month on their bill. The utility company owed them $15. Then the utility company owed them $41. Then the utility company owed them $24. And then they traded in all of their credits during that ice storm in Texas. So they owed $1.43. Then they owed $37. But then their credit started to stack up again. The utility company owed them 53. The utility company owed them 80. And that's how it works. You stay connected to the electric grid and you still have the same reliability that you've always had. But the number of panels is just determined by how much electricity you need to make and how much light you receive. So does that make sense how you still have solar when it's cloudy or rainy or dark? You're still connected, you use what you need to use, and whatever you overproduce gives you credits for later on. Now, if you're in Georgia, it's a little bit more restrictive than that. Like the way I just explained, it's how it works for clays and how it works for the overwhelming majority of the US. We will help you figure out your situation, but with FPL, they will buy back your electricity for 100% of what you pay for it and let you use it for up to a year after you make it. So you don't even need a battery to save money using solar. What a battery is for is to have energy after a hurricane, and we can send you battery options to check those out as well. So how many solar panels you need, that's how it works when it's cloudy or rainy or dark. As far as how it can be expensive and save money at the same time, this is the last thing I have to cover tonight. And I've got 4 cool things to share with you and I'll be done. This is a hard concept, but it's a lot like your house. Your house is expensive, but it saves you money because it's a heck of a lot less expensive than paying rent, which is money that you spend every month and you never get a day closer to owning it. What we'll create for you, if you would like, will show you your exact options, how much money you save. And the reason this is kind of hard to explain is because most people don't understand number 4 on here, is that when you go solar, you don't need extra money. It's not like buying a car or a boat where you're adding a new bill into your future. You're taking the money that you do not send to your utility company and you are making your solar payment with those savings. So solar is not an extra bill, it's a replacement bill. Just like if you got rid of your cable, you use the savings from your cable to pay for your Hulu subscription. And the difference is you actually can own your solar panels. You can never pay off your electricity bill. Another thing that people don't know about solar is you can start paying it, you start using it without paying a dime. Just like you go to the iPhone store and you get your iPhone and you don't pay anything and you pay for it monthly, you can do the same thing with solar. You will increase the value of your property. Like the reason why, here's a real example of somebody in Florida who is making $127 a month, or I'm sorry, who was paying $127 a month to Duke. Over 25 years, that's 38 grand. Their solar was less than half of that. And then here's the last thing that most people don't know about. Number 1 is the government will actually pay for 26% of your solar system just to say thanks for being a part of a solution to the $1 billion a day problem we have called paying a never-ending electricity bill. We spend $1 billion as Americans a day on electricity. So the government will pay for 26% of your solar system via tax credit. So when it's all said and done, solar is about half or less of what your utility cost. Our service is to figure out exactly what that number is. For anybody who would like to see it, we'll create a free, Chris, can you put that thing that I had earlier? I closed it. The most recent thing that you made today in the chat. So sorry for rambling so much. It's we're half past the hour. I promised I'd be done at this point. You can see that I have a ton more to talk about, and I'm here for an hour and a half to answer any questions you have. But one thing we've learned, y'all, is that if you bore people, they don't want to talk to you again. And so the point of our service is to make it, hopefully you learned a couple of things. Hopefully it'd be cool to find out how much you can save by using solar, how much it would cost per month. And those are all things that we'd be happy to tell you if it's something that you feel would add value to you. So yes, Chris, this is what I was looking for. So let me open this up and show you what we'll create. if you would like, we can take the numbers that you shared with us. We can create a design for your home. We can show you how much the electricity that you make would cost if you got it from the utility, how much it would cost if you financed your solar with zero down, what your monthly savings are, and all of the numbers that go to make that up. So there's no confusion at all about where those numbers come from. And you can click a time whenever you would like to schedule a follow-up. But if you know for sure that you would like one of these, if you could just do your hand raise thing, we do this for free. It's part of our service. All right, Clay's wants one. I'm trying to look at other people's things. We'll send this to you tomorrow. Is there anybody else that would like to have a free solar analysis done? Michelle would like one. Who else am I seeing? Cheryl Lee, yeah. We just, Dwayne, yes. Cool. Be glad to do this for you. Patricia and Michelle and Lucia. Can't see you, but if you want one, let us know. And if you already know that you want to go over your specific situation, if you click on the chat, you will see a Calendly link. We'll send you that design, no problems asked. And there'll be a way to get in touch with us there. But for some people, they just like to save their spot. If you go to the chat, you click the Calendly link, you can sign up just like you signed up for the fundraiser. And this is with me or Luke or Holly or Chris or Trey or John. We're a small team of people. We're not a big corporation. We're just some people who thought it would be fun to make solar as inexpensive and easy as possible for anybody who wanted to use it. And because y'all are the kind of people who showed up tonight to support a good organization, and you had a little faith in humanity because it probably sounded a little bit too good to be true when you heard about the fundraiser, like that's what allows us to make our prices as inexpensive as they are. And we'll be glad to help any of you understand it as much as you want. But I'm here. You're done with the fundraiser. Those are the basic solar facts. You'll increase the value of your property. You don't need extra money to do it. You use your savings. You have electricity, just like you always have. Like even if you don't make enough, you've got your power company to kick in. If you don't want to, if you want to have power after hurricane, there's batteries. You'll see those on your options. But if I keep talking, you won't want to come back and see me. So is there anything else y'all would like to know tonight before I hop off? I am not in a hurry at all, but I want to be respectful of your time. So
sorry, how can I schedule another meeting with you?
Yeah, like all you have to do, you go to the chat. Do you see the
I'm
chat?
in the chat?
Yep.
Okay.
And do you see a thing that says Calendly, John and Lester on there?
No, I don't see that. I only see hi, I'm Lucy. I'm supporting a comedian.
Huh. Let me see. All right. So
Chris, here.
Say it again. It should be right there now.
Yeah, it should be at the bottom of the chat. And
yeah, it's there.
Yeah, Clay, just set up a time in between now and then. We'll go ahead and send you your design with your initial numbers. So if you see it and you're like, this is nonsense, you can cancel, you can reschedule. But once you learn, you'll be able to see what we created for you, and then we'll redesign it together based on whatever you want and help you understand every single number that we send you. So good question. So you click on the Calendly link, you click on a time, just put your information in.
Yeah, I already opened the calendar.
Yeah.
So I think in the initial formats, I remember that I fill up, I put how much I pay every month. That's enough, or do you need the real bill anyway?
That if you want to have super precise numbers done before we get back together, then the most accurate thing you can share with us would be your kilowatt, your annual kilowatt usage. But if you're okay with starting with a close estimate, and if your average that you guessed was dead on, then your numbers will be dead on.
I think I'm gonna share the amount of kilowatt per month because I have something with FPL that is an average or something like this that I pay monthly. So yes, I think that in order that you can have a better idea, I have to share this. One final question, I don't know if, so normally, so in the estimates for sure is gonna be the labor included.
Will you say that one more time?
So on the estimate that you're gonna provide to me, for sure should be the labor. I mean the cost of the labor.
All of it's on there. Yes. So the cost that I'm going to share with you is going to, that's all information you can find on Google, nothing to see there. So this is the summary. But do you see these tabs at the bottom of the screen where it says standard option,
Standard option,
battery option? We show you everything. We show you how much we earn, how many more people would get to show up and earn $50 for something they care about because of you. We show you how much it is for project management, all of the permits, all of the turnkey. You don't have to do anything. How much the contractors earn, how much your panels are, how much your inverters are, how much the racking that keeps it to your house is, how much the shipping is, how much the cabling is. And we even have this thing in here called an imperfect information fund, which is basically a slush fund in case the panels go up or the labor goes up in between the time you receive your price and when you get it. But do you know what we do with this most of the time? We send it back to you. You pay exactly what we pay for all of this. We just have our fees that allow us to keep teaching people about solar and making it easy as heck for the people who want to do it. And then you pay what we pay. We show you the receipts at the end. And a lot of times, like shipping won't be $1,200, it'll be $750. So we'll say, all right, Clays, here's a check for $450. Oh, this thing ended up being $700 today. So there's $300 more. And at the end of the project, we give you everything back that you don't spend. It's kind of a unique way of doing it. So we just work with you as a partner. You're going to know absolutely everything. You're going to have a thing you can click on to see the different loan options we have available. You can use whatever loan you would like. It does not have to be one of ours. If you can get money less expensively, you should take it. If you're the kind of guy that likes to pay things off, pay it off. Like, save yourself some interest. It's 100% up to you. But yes, that's a long answer to say you'll have more information than you need, which is why we always schedule a follow-up, because it's almost too much information to really parse without having somebody to walk you through it. Good question.
How long is supposed that those panels gonna last?
The first ones that were made in 1954 still work. So we don't know how long panels last yet. They don't have any moving parts, so they don't break. But the ones that today have a 25-year warranty that state that at the end of 25 years, they'll still be making as much electricity as they, not as much, I'm sorry, 80 to 92% as much as the day they came out of the box. And so what we do is we just look at how much does a panel cost? How much electricity is it guaranteed to make? Is it pretty enough to put on your house? And those are the panels that we recommend. But you can get any type of panel you want. So if you get real nerdy and you find out, hey, I heard about these REC panels and I heard they're the best on earth, which they kind of are, then you can have those. Like if you're like, hey man, I want some American panels. We're like, all right, no problem. We'll get you some American panels. You're going to pay more for them, but you can have them. Like our goal is not to sell you whatever we have for whatever profit we can make. Is to give people the best solar option you can for the least money we can charge. So that, I mean, in this example, this is just a crazy example, but here's somebody that's going to spend $56,000 on electricity over 25 years if the prices never go up, and they can make it themselves for 28. And instead of paying $215, I'm sorry, they can only make though like 70% of their energy or 87%. So they still have a small bill. So they're basically trading a $187 bill that never goes away for a $170 bill that does go away if you spend not a dime out of pocket to do it. And that includes labor, warranties, everything. It almost sounds too good to be true. It's kind of why we did our fundraiser this way. We wanted to make it so easy to raise funds that you might believe solar could be too good to be true and actually be true too. And let me do this. A lot of times people ask, all these are on YouTube. So if you want to go back and watch it, you can go to YouTube and do it. But if you want to have the slides, I'm going to drop those into the chat as well. So afterwards, if you'd like to have these things I'm sharing with you, you can totally click on that. And here's all the information I shared with you tonight. You can go to YouTube and look up Ovanova fundraising. and you'll see dozens of these conversations that we've shared online. Thank y'all for contributing to the conversation tonight and getting your questions answered. We just think that if people knew more, they'd already be doing it because it makes all the sense in the world. So what else? Anybody else have any more things you'd like to talk about? So my last one of the week, I'm feeling good.
Okay, so I'm good. I'm gonna share information in the chat. I think is the chat a good place to put the information, or you want me to send it by email?
You're talking about the kilowatt hours?
Yes.
Yeah, just drop it in the chat. Chris, can you make sure that you adjust Clay's design for exact usage? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we will have a design made that we would make for our house. But what we don't know is, like, maybe you won't like where we put the panels. And so we'll just have to take them all off, start all over again. But it's no problem to just add some more, spin them around the right direction so the sun knows where it's coming. And then, you know, we can do this when we're together. So we'll have a general outline. When you get back together with us, we can customize it to your desires, whatever you want to do it, however you want to do it.
Okay.
And it won't take long. Here's something I didn't tell y'all. You're under an hour's worth of effort on your part away from being able to do solar. The rest of it's turnkey. We make it really easy. There's not a lot of work involved in this process. It's just a matter of getting at it while you're still thinking about it instead of putting it off, which is why we get back with people. So, Clay, did you already pick a time to get back together with us, or are you waiting to do that? Chris, cool. 19,520. So Michelle's got her annual usage in there too. So if you could do that, that'd be good. Michelle, Georgia, let me explain your situation in Georgia. I can't you said you're with Georgia
like everything else in Georgia, weird.
Probably. Yeah, but people are kind of cool though. So sure. Are you? I like the Georgias. I like the Georgia.
I love Georgia. Don't get me wrong. It's just not the most environmentally.
Well, what Georgia has chosen to do is to make sure that all the solar, you guys are one of the best states in the country for solar if you're building it out in a field. Like, there's a lot of incentives to allow somebody else to build those and then sell you the electricity after they've already paid their panels off in a few years.
Right. Our power company does that. But.
Yeah. Yes. And so y'all use, did you say Walton or Georgia Power? So y'all use? Michelle, you told me, I don't know if you told me at the beginning it was Georgia Power or you told me it was Walton.
Walton.
Yeah. Walton is not very solar friendly when it comes to individuals. But what that means is that they can't stop you from producing the electricity you need during the day. And so you might have half Walton bill, half solar payment. And you get a smaller system that just makes what you need as you use it because they won't pay you much for the extra energy. Or you can just say, to heck with this, I'm going to get batteries and I don't care about your stupid rules because I can save my own electricity and I can have power after a storm. And yeah, so, and you can do that too, but we'll show you your options when we get back together.
Is one of the other power companies more friendly?
Oh, Georgia Power, slightly more friendly. They allow you to make up to about $120 worth of electricity a month. So if you're using 250, it doesn't make any difference. And they also don't have those really good rollover minutes. So Clays, is that that 1339? That can't be for the year. You use way more. Like, is that your average per month?
Oh, sorry. This is a month. Yeah.
Okay. Is that 1 month or an average month?
No, I see here on the bill that said this month. This month the last bill said this month.
Got it.
The month.
Do you happen to have that number annually? We could also pull up a spreadsheet and add it up. Chris is an engineer. It wouldn't take long if you want to.
Okay, let me try to dig on online, and I'm gonna send you. This is still open, or the last time we meet, I'm gonna give you all of this information, or Perfect. We can try to figure it out. How can I get it from NetPL? Okay.
Perfect. I can just use your monthly bill estimate until the meeting, and it should be pretty accurate.
Yeah, last year I used 1732. This is because this is comparing with the last month and the last year. This is the only thing that I see on the bill.
Right. So they try to.
But what do you think, that is too much, or is?
Do you have that graph on there that shows month to month? It's like it's got a graph.
Yes, energy use history. Yes, I have that graph. I can give you the lowest and the.
Yeah, if you want to give us a number on the graph, like we can totally just type. Chris, you have a spreadsheet pulled open so we can do this. Michelle, do y'all mind?
Yeah, is it? I mean, is it on your phone, on your computer?
Yeah, it's on my phone right now, but I can.
You could just text it to me, and I can just deal with all of it. You want to do that?
Just take a screenshot and send it to Chris. What's your number, Mr. Christopher?
540-492-2433.
540, sorry. Oh yeah,
540. Yeah, 492-2433.
What's the last four, Chris?
2433.
Still didn't hear
you. 2433. It's also in the chat if that's easier.
But Michelle, yeah, like as an example, not too far from y'all, like I can think of 3 utility companies that are pretty amazing when it comes to this. One of them is Green Mountain in Texas. And not only will they allow you to make all the electricity you need, anything that you overproduce, they'll write you a check for at the end of the year and they'll pay you retail for it.
And they can work here?
Yeah, like that's in Texas. In Wisconsin, there's a place called Excel Energy. They do the same thing. Pepco in Maryland does that. But most of the, like anything that has to do with the TVA, they used to have a really good program, but they shut it down a year and a half ago and they haven't replaced it yet. But that doesn't mean you can't benefit from solar. It just means you have to be a little bit more creative, and we have to be a little bit more precise to make sure that you don't have more than you're actually going to use. But that's just a math equation. That's a word story problem we can figure out together. And if we can't figure it out, we can have one of your kids figure it out for us.
My oldest could do this for you. He's going to come work for you eventually.
I hope so. We need all the folks we can get. He can start with the installation. We might have to drive down. And
he wants to be an engineer. He wants to do what Chris does.
Good. It's a good field.
What did you learn from your engineering, Christopher?
I mean, just how to problem solve. Did a lot of cool projects along the way, but just how to think critically and problem solve. That, yeah.
Cool. Sorry for talking too fast. I kind of did that all backwards tonight. I answered more questions than I normally do when people were doing introductions, and we were kind of done with what I normally talk about. But yeah, the way it works most of the time, the overwhelming majority of the time, like with FPL where Clays is, he has a full year to use the credits that he makes when he's overproducing. And at the end of the year, if he has any left over, they'll write him a check for wholesale. Whereas the companies I just said will actually do it for retail. So it doesn't really make sense for him to overproduce by a lot because he doesn't make enough to do it. And FPL will only allow you to make 110 or 15% of the electricity you need. But that's a very long answer, Michelle, to your question. Yes, most utility
kind of what I was expecting, actually.
Yeah, you live in one of the worst places in the country because of your utility company when it comes to making it easy to go solar. And you should know that because it's a choice. It doesn't have to be that way. There's enough people that get riled up from the band. They're like, wait a second, why are we buying electricity from you? You think solar's great. Why can't we do it for us? But we can help you. You can at least have a little if you want it. And if you don't, it'll be great to help you understand more about it. Did you have any trouble finding that, finding a way to sign up to get back together with us?
We made an appointment for next Monday. I already did it.
Easy peasy. Well, what did you like that you heard tonight other than, hey, you guys got $50 for the band?
Oh, no, we're pretty environmental already ourselves. So we've wanted solar power for a long time, but we live in Georgia and we have these big giant trees. And so I'm excited to see if it does work because I do love my big Georgia trees. So there's that. And we have a brother-in-law in California. We went out to visit him and we were like, oh my gosh, there's solar panel everywhere. And so we were like, why can't we get solar power here? Like, and then they do make it at the farm at our utility and stuff, but we're like, that doesn't, I don't know.
You're
It
just
never
trading
appealed to us.
kings.
So.
It's a bummer to need something as badly as electricity. And the only way to get it is to pay a never-ending bill to a utility company. They can charge you whatever they want to, whenever they want to. But thank goodness they are willing to do it. Setting out in the dark is pretty cool. Or not having to set the 1800s sucked.
Yeah.
So
we
I'm
used to live
glad
in Florida
that they
and
make
used to use
electricity.
power for the hurricanes all the time. It was not fun. Not fun.
It is not fun. That's why we've had 10 of our last 15 customers have gotten batteries, even though they didn't technically need them for price savings, because they just said, look, even if it costs us an extra $20 a month to have batteries, like that's worth it to me personally, so that I don't have to migrate to Georgia after a hurricane looking for a hotel where I could take a hot shower. Yeah. And so the battery, I do believe that we have the best battery setup in the nation. And I say that compared to Tesla Powerwalls, compared to Generacs. Like we spent months looking into with our engineers, what's really the best way to do it. And so the reason it's cool with Georgia is because we sell our batteries at wholesale price. You save like $10,000 on the batteries, and then it ends up becoming affordable to have batteries where it hasn't been affordable to have batteries before. There, we saved somebody $50,000 versus a quote he had from Tesla in Texas, because he wanted a bunch of batteries after that ice storm. He was like, never again am I going to go through that crap. So he makes it himself.
One other question.
This is Jamie.
Hi there. So one of the other things that I've thought about doing is getting an electric car. And with the battery, I mean, I'm assuming the battery would draw off the house. Would the battery make a difference with having the electric car?
So in terms of making it easier to charge, or in terms of access to energy?
Well, I'm assuming that as far as, I would assume that my energy usage, my electric usage would go up.
That's correct.
And would having a battery kind of store up more of, since our utilities don't feel like giving us money back, right, would it be better to have the battery that we'd essentially be able to use more quote unquote free energy instead of?
Jamie, you're really seeing it clearly. When you have solar, your new gas station is on top of your house or on your yard or wherever your solar ends up going. Yeah, your solar panels are making free energy, and having a battery is certainly cool. But here's something that's even cooler. I just learned about this today, even though I've known about the technology for a while. The new F-150 it has what's called vehicle to grid technology, which means that your car can actually act as your battery. So if you go to work and you fill up your car at work because they have free charging or they've got solar, you could just fill your car up and come home and plug it into your house and run your house. And the opposite is also true. Like you can charge it up with your solar panels at home for next to nothing because sunlight's free. And then you can go to work and plug it in at work, and your work will pay you like not as much as they would pay the electricity company, but more than it costs you to make it. So it's a way to make even more money when you get to work by discharging your battery to offset their high energy costs because of their high demand charges. So it's a really wild world we're getting ready to live in. One thing that the battery would give you, if you have solar and you don't have a battery, you do not have access to electricity after a storm, because you are putting electricity back on the power lines. And after a storm, somebody somewhere is out there trying to fix the light lines. And so your solar panels know when to cut off, so they're not feeding electricity back to the grid. And my video's not working, but it's just, there we go. You don't want this to happen because you're using solar.
I mean, it should be in a Faraday suit, I feel like. Is that a...
All right, engineer. So we have to talk about Faraday suits. So that's why, so what you would have if you had a battery is you would be able to charge your car no matter what the heck is going on in the world. The entire grid could collapse and you would still be able to charge your car and go somewhere, because every day the sun comes up, it's recharging your battery for you.
So if I were living in Texas, I'd still be able to use my car when they had their snowstorm.
That's correct.
So, and I'm assuming it's a case of you'll kind of pull our address for the pictures and stuff, but yeah, I pulled up the Google map of our house, and my concern is that we actually have trees that cover a third of our house, and the Google map shows kind of a shadow on another, probably half of it. And so I'm a little concerned that we're not going to be ideal for the fact of how little of our house will get sunlight for how many hours.
You know, and you could very well be right, and we could figure that out, and that's what we're going to do for you. And so we back on Monday, will you an analysis that you've already seen? You know, it might kind of work out in your favor, right? Only because of this, because you live in a place, the utility company can't stop you from using the electricity that you make for yourself. So even if there's like, you have like 5 solar panels in like the good, like sun part of your house, that's still electricity you don't have to buy from the utility company during the day. And it might work out where it's just enough to make about 30 or 40% of your electricity, which is where you would want to be if you're not going to have batteries, because you're not trying to overproduce so that you have credits for nighttime and other times. You're just saying, hey, I'm doing a solid for the earth. Owning 30% of my power is better than owning nothing. And we can look at all of those numbers. We will place the panels in the most efficient positions, but because solar has gotten so inexpensive, even like this is actually a good friend of mine in Ohio, and I've taken the panels off, but you remember there's like 6 months out of the year where they're not even getting power.
Yeah.
And even with those impediments and being they would end up paying a premium of about $5 extra per month for the solar that they are using, because they have to have extra panels to make up for the thing. So what I'm telling you is I can't tell you tonight, but when we get back together on Monday, I'll already have it done, and you will already have the information the initial information that we came up with ready for you, and you'll get that tomorrow. Chris will make it.
Okay, so you'll send that and we'll have a chance to look at it before Monday.
Yeah, man. Like,
absolutely, it'll be in your inbox tomorrow.
It'll be in your inbox tomorrow. And we'll look at it together. We're a team. That's why we work with churches, schools, bands, because it's just like, hey guys, let's be a team. The world needs solar energy, we believe. Like, we're maniacs about it. We think it's absolutely insane to have a grid where people can't. This is my buddy. After that Texas ice storm, he got a broom and he had electricity again. You know, that was how hard it was to turn his lights back on. But he has solar and he has battery. Well, this actually, he doesn't have a battery, but the grid didn't go down where he was, so he was able to kick his lights back on with it. He wants a battery now, but it's still just a matter of brooming it off. We think it's insane to blow up our planet. Yeah. Thank y'all. See you on Monday. God bless you. Thanks for having grandkids and future engineers. See y'all soon.
Good to meet y'all.
Bye. That was fun. Did you get everything you need from Clay's?
Absolutely. He sent his bill in the chat and I have it downloaded now. And Michelle also gave me her annual kilowatt hours tour. By those 2 meetings, we'll have 2 really accurate designs that won't need to be messed with that much.
Nice.
Your Q&A was on point today. Really good, especially in the second meeting.
Did you like the way it was just like quick to the point, answer your question? Yeah, I shouldn't have even gone into all that other stuff. I'm like, sounds like you guys all have your questions answered. So if you can't think of any reason why you wouldn't want to know about it for you, then go ahead and click the link. But, you know, we're getting better. It's definitely important to be short. Like people smile. And I'm like, if you talk to people too much, they don't want to come see you again. And people smile and nod.
Yeah.
It really. Anything else going on for you tonight, or you got it all from here?
No, I got it all from here. I guess tomorrow I got a bunch of designs to bang out, but I'll get it done.
Well, I love your soul.
Do we figure out if Carlson set an interconnection date for?
I found out that they have been asking every day this week, and they have not yet gotten a response. So that ball is not in our court at the moment. Thank you for asking.
Okay.
I figured that out today. We've got. I mean, we found our electrician today for Houston Broadband's project. So heck yeah, that was exciting.
That's really
news.
good.
Like, I think we're gonna have that job installed in under 3 weeks from the time they said yes.
That'd be insane.
It's possible. I think we can get it done in a week once we really get to moving. But that's not bad, is it? 3 weeks. You say yes, 3 weeks later you got your solar up, and then
that's pretty amazing.
Under 6 weeks you're producing it. Solar urgency. Let's go. Let's make this happen. And so then the other thing that we're doing, I don't know. I spent a lot of brain energy today. I'm kind of fried right now. I'm not a prodigy anymore. So
yeah, we don't need to talk. We don't need to talk.
At 9 o'clock
just call it.
9 o'clock in the morning, I will not be there. So you have my login information. Would you mind just logging into the team meeting, going over the priorities? Because I have a Facebook meeting with a friend. Facebook was the only way that he could meet. I wanted to share it with y'all on Zoom, but that's not going to be possible without a lot of. Well, maybe I could get on Zoom. I don't know. No, you can't get on Zoom and Facebook at the same time with the Facebook video. All right, that's all. So if you could run the team meeting tomorrow, I'll hop on when I'm done with it, and let's touch base. Let me look at the calendar real quick. That was today. Oh, I was 30 minutes early today.
I don't know who will even be there for the team meeting tomorrow. If Luke's traveling and on vacation and John's installing.
You never know when John's going to show up.
It'll just be me talking to myself, and then it'll be fine.
For sure. So this is the at the very worst, we'll get together tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
And Lester and team and go over.
Is there anything that's actually vital to being done tomorrow that's that I would be not aware of at this point?
Just the people who requested they receive a design.
Okay.
Getting their designs done. Other than that, not at all. Great job on the cover page today.
Thank you. I think we're moving in a good direction with the open book and designs and everything. And hey, we had 4 people today sign up for a follow-up at least.
Oh, we did?
I thought we had 4 people at least express major interest. Talk about this. That's fair.
We'll see how many people signed up.
We'll see.
But after they see their numbers, it'll be possibly a lot more. But we definitely have, some folks who signed up. Michelle thinks she signed up for Monday. So you might want to, might want to let her know that she's not signed up whenever you send her design tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check the calendar.
Cool.
But,
all right, brother. Love you. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you tomorrow.
Good night. Thanks, Prodigy.